Well, hello and welcome everybody to a special webinar. Wanted to do a webinar. We just did a great trip to Iceland and we actually spread it out over 5 days and we had well over 1,000 people. These are actually, you're seeing a couple pictures for the people that went. I'll show you how to get your pictures in just a minute. So we were there and it was our fourth trip to Iceland, 4 trips. The first one, we had about 200 people show up and, did a 1-day trip there. And then the second time we had about 300 people show up. And then the third time was really, really crazy. That was back in February. We had 450 or 500 people show up, but it was all for 1 day. So we had a ton of buses and it was just craziness. So we knew we didn't want to do that, that many people in a single day again. So this time we set it up where we spread it out over 5 days, and it was just an amazing, amazing time, except for the last day. It was so rainy and so cold the last day. But the other days were absolutely awesome. Actually pretty good weather. And like I said, about 1,100 people, maybe a little more than 1,100 people came to Iceland, saw the facility. And the site you can see on here is pic.myrig.online. And you can go there to see your pictures. And hang on, I'll get to the pictures again here in just a second. So while I was there and while we were all there, lots of leaders from lots of different groups all over the world, of course, want to ask lots of questions. And it was basically the same questions over and over and over and over again every day. And I wrote down a bunch of these different questions, and I literally spent hours every day just repeating myself, going through all of these answers. And everybody, of course, wants a webinar where they can share all of these answers, the same as if everybody was there. So that's what this webinar is for today. So basically just cover all the questions that lots and lots of people have about a lot of different topics and issues with Bitclub. But first, let me show you guys how to get these pictures, and then we'll get right into all these questions. Okay, so let me go down here. I'm going to log out first. So they did this kind of weird. And number one, you see it says island instead of Iceland. I did not do this. Bitclub did not do this. So it's not supposed to be island. It's supposed to be Iceland. And down here, you'll see a place for username and password. So if you go to pic.myrig.online, day one, the password is white. I'm sorry, the username is white, and then the password is island, I-S-L-A-N-D. That's for day one, which was the 12th of November. If you were there on day two, the 13th of November, the username is yellow, and the password is 2018, 2018. If you were there for day three, which is the 14th, then your username will be orange and the password will be rocks, R-O-C-K-S. If you were there for day 4, which was the 15th, then your username is red, password water. And then if you were there for day 5, the 16th, your username is black, and the password is storm. We'll also be putting an update out probably in the back office and the social media that gives these out as well, but pass that out to your teams and let them know so they can go get their pictures. And as you guys can see, we had a lot of fun. Everybody loved Blue Lagoon. Don't know when the next, oh, by the way, when you go in, what you actually need to do is go up here to the top left. Once you've logged in, go to the top left where these 3 little lines are. Click that. Then it will show you, if you're on day 4, day 1, day 3, whatever it is, and then you'll see all the pictures And then there's many pages, and you can go through and you can either just look at the pictures, download the pictures, but all that's there. And this is at Vern Global, which is one of our facilities in Iceland. And we'll talk a little bit more about Vern Global here in just a little bit as well. So there, I was asked many times, why are the mining earnings so low? So let's go through a lot of different things about this. So with mining earnings, we never know exactly what they're going to be. And if you buy your own equipment, run it yourself, or you get a mining contract from, other mining operations or us, everybody has to pay for electricity and maintenance. It's just part of it. It's just a normal thing. So I was talking to one person in Iceland who has some mining contracts with other companies, but they do it differently than we do it, where you're actually buying an amount of power and then you have so much maintenance you have to pay on that power that you have. And so right now, the amount of Bitcoin that amount of power is mining, you have to take that whatever percentage of Bitcoin and pay for your expenses. So he was telling me that right now, 99% of the Bitcoin that is mined, because the price of Bitcoin is so low right now, 99% of the Bitcoin that's being mined is going towards expenses, and only 1% is left over as a profit. Here's what most people don't understand that we were talking about. If the price of Bitcoin were to double, then it would take half as much Bitcoin to pay the expenses. So if I say to somebody, all right, if you see what the mining earnings are right now, if the price of Bitcoin doubled right now, what do you think would happen to the mining earnings? And pretty much everybody says the same thing. I think they would double. So if the price of Bitcoin doubled, we would make double as much. That is actually very incorrect. And the reason is because, let's say we mined, as an example, 100 Bitcoin. And it's taking, at this price where Bitcoin is right now, 99 Bitcoin to pay all the expenses. So that leaves 1 Bitcoin left over. And again, this is just hypothetical type thing to keep it very simple to understand. If the price of Bitcoin doubled, our bills are still the exact same amount of dollars, but we're paying them in Bitcoin. So it would now only take us 50 Bitcoin instead of 99 Bitcoin to have the same amount of dollars. So we would not have 2 Bitcoin left over after expenses. We would have 50 Bitcoin left over after expenses. So that's the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize, is that, it matters so much where the price of Bitcoin's at when we're paying the bills. And I mean, you see mining companies all over the world right now just trashing mining equipment, throwing mining equipment away. Mainly they're throwing away S7s and stuff like that. I mean, we're still making a little bit of a profit. That's why everybody's still getting paid. GPUs, we were not making any money. We were actually losing money. That's why we had to turn them off. But right now, we're still making a little bit of money. Now, if Bitcoin dips below 3,000, it's going to be a little difficult. Now, another thing that also goes into it is the difficulty. So if you look at the difficulty, it's been going down the past few weeks. And the reason is because of the price. So a lot of people are unplugging equipment. So the difficulties come down now. I believe by the end of next week, it's supposed to come down a total of like 25 or 26% just in the past few weeks. So that's good that it's coming down, but it'd be nice if the price just shot up, because again, when the bills come in, we have to pay the bills based on dollars. So even if Bitcoin was at, it could be at $8,000 when we mined it. If all of a sudden the price comes down and it's below 4,000 when it's time to pay the bills, it only matters when we're paying the bills on, what the price is. That's only time the price matters to us. So it just all comes out in the end. Now, everything's going to be fine. Well, I hope everything's going to be fine. But here's what I can tell you. When we started Bitclub, end of 2014, and we really got rolling 2015. That's when we really started, really getting into the swing of things, learning what was going on. We had a lot of people that never joined Bitclub because they saw the price of Bitcoin had gone from 1,200 down to 200, and it was just staying there. It even went down to 170, and then back up to 220, and then back down to 190, and then up to 230, and then back to 180, and it just kept fluctuating in that for a long time. And like I said, so many people never wanted to join because they were just so scared of that. But a lot of us, we saw the vision of what Bitcoin could be and the potential for where it could go. And a lot of people that joined back then complained, oh my God, these mining earnings are so terrible. I was in Zeke Rewards and they paid me this much money. And I was like, well, Zeke Rewards went out of business because they were a Ponzi scheme. And people go, yeah, well, I joined OneCoin, and OneCoin were giving me this much. Oh, I joined this scam. I joined like all these different deals all these people joined, talked about how much more they were making than what Bitclub was paying. And all I could say was, look, I can't beat a lie. If you guys are saying that you're paying out that much money, I don't know where it's coming from, but I believe you're lying, and we'll see long-term what happens. So everybody that had, seen all these scams and been in all these MLMs were telling us that our payout was so tiny, so small, this is never going to go anywhere. Yet if you go back and look at a founder position from the beginning when we first started, it's made like $100,000 in your pocket from just $3,599. That is crazy when you think about that, and especially crazy when you think that so many people said the mining earnings are so horrible, this is never going to amount to nothing, we don't think we're ever going to break even, if we're lucky we'll break even in 3 or 4 years. And yet, because of repurchases, all of those people are still getting paid every single day. So things could change very, very, very quickly. Now, we also have another issue. And that is, why has our hash rate not been going up more? Well, that's mainly because of facilities. So a lot of facilities, well, actually, when I say a lot, there's not a lot. Almost every facility on the planet right now is full. It's so hard to get into anywhere because there's such a high demand for data centers right now, and computing power it's just off the charts. And so we do have people that contact us and say, oh, we have this amount of power, we have that amount of power, we have this available, we have this much space available, and here's the price. And we go, okay, and then we start going through everything, and then we get our lawyers to sit down with them, and then it's time to sign the contract. When the final contract's ready, then all of a sudden it seems like the prices are always 2 and 3 times higher, or they want half of our profit, forever. Like, even when things get better, they want half of our profit forever and ever and ever. And so there's been like 6 or 7 places where we thought we were going to be able to move into, and we were not able to move into. So we're actually taking matters into our own hands, and we're actually building our own facility. So we have a facility in Montana, and that one's actually already going really well. Right now it is 75 megawatts, running 75 megawatts of power. and it's being built out to 125 megawatts. Right next door, we're building a facility that is 300 megawatts. So we will have 450 megawatts. Is it 450 or 425? I'm sorry, I think it's 125 for one and 300 for the other. So it'll be at 425 megawatts just for these two facilities. And the beautiful thing is we will own them. We'll own the land, we own the buildings, we own the substations, we own everything. So now we won't have to worry about using third parties and all that kind of stuff, and we can stack so much equipment in these places. Let me put it in perspective for you. Vern Global is 45 acres, and it's rooms and rooms and rooms. Let me scroll down here a little bit. So pull up one of these pictures here. You guys can see this. So you can see and this equipment there's many stacks across, and then it goes back. I think there's 4 stacks going back, and I think there's like 5 racks or 6 racks across. And this is just one of many rooms on a 45-acre facility. Vern Global is about a 10-megawatt facility. We're building a 300-megawatt facility, so 30 times bigger than what a Vern Global is. And that's just one of the buildings. The other building is 125 megawatts. That does not include that we also have power in Vern Global. We have power in actually many countries around the world. But that's our biggest issue. Now, we are getting money from the equipment, even though it's not hooked up, because the contract we did when we had bought a lot of this equipment, we actually do get compensated, even though it's not hooked up and running. So, but again, right now, mining's not the greatest in the world, but it's okay. We're still getting a little bit from it. And I don't think it's going to be much longer. Everything will turn around the same as it was before. But let's talk a little bit more about mining and mining earnings, because the reality of the situation is that since we started, myself and most of the people that have made a lot of money in Bitclub, we don't focus on mining earnings. Mining earnings, in my personal opinion, are 100% a complete waste of time. Now, in network marketing, you have lots and lots of different companies that sell lots of different things, and super successful companies. I mean, anything you can think of is sold through network marketing, whether it be skin cream, nutritional drinks, nutritional supplements, candles, baskets, clothing, food, even dog food, well, actually all pet food. Almost anything you can think of is sold through network marketing. Now, me personally, I'm a high school dropout, and I was an electrician after I got out of high school. So I was a construction worker, and I didn't have a bright future being a construction worker, high school dropout. And I found network marketing and saw the potential of what it could do for me, and that it didn't matter what my education was or even how smart I was. It had to do with how hard was I willing to work and listen to the people that had already had the success that I wanted to have. And I learned very early on that what got me excited was what would get other people excited. And that wasn't the product that we were selling, because when I first started, I was selling a long distance telephone service. So you had a home phone, you were getting charged per minute for your long distance usage. And saving somebody a few cents a minute, but yet getting paid every time that they use the phone, that sounded really cool at the time. Now there's only flat rate. There is no per minute anymore. That doesn't even exist anymore. So those companies kind of outlived their cycle. But my point is that when I was signing up people in my downline, I was trying to build a team so we could get thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of customers, so we can get a little bit from all of these different things. And it didn't matter if I was selling a juice or I was selling some other type of nutritional supplement or anything. I was never focused on selling a product. I was always focused on building a downline, building a distribution channel. That's the most important thing. The product never got me interested in joining network marketing. The dream of being rich and waking up when I want to wake up, go to bed when I want to go to bed, work where I want, when I want, how I want, have nobody telling me what to do or when to do or how to do, that's what got me excited. So I've been in network marketing for over 20 years, and I've had great times and I've had super bad times, super depressed times. A lot of bad things happen in network marketing where just companies will fall right out from underneath of you. And you can go from hero to zero really, really, really fast. And I've gone from having, good money in the bank to counting change so I could eat probably like 7, 8, 9 different times in my career. I was never really scared because I knew I could do it again. But the thing is that my life, I've lived a free person. I did not live my life having to sit in traffic every morning or listen to politics in the office, having to wake up to an alarm clock every day. 99% of my life has been lived without an alarm clock, and that is one of my most happiest things about my life. I get to work from home. I get to choose who I work with every day. If there's people that, make me feel negative, make me feel bad, I don't have to answer their calls. I can just not pay attention to those people. I can keep positive, awesome, uplifting people around me all the time. So what's the point of me saying all this? The point is, too many of you keep focusing on the product. You're building a downline. Forget the mining earnings. I've never paid attention to the mining earnings. I never will pay attention to the mining earnings. People ask me all the time, Russ, founder position pays this much every day. Do you know why? And I'm like, I have no idea. I've never looked at it. I have no idea how much mining earnings pay out ever, never, ever. All I do know is that if you bought a founder position a little over 4 years ago, a founder position made about $100,000. That's amazing. But it's pennies and it's minuscule nothing compared to people that went out there, took this business serious and went to work, because we have people that have made tens of millions of dollars. So do you care about 100,000 or do you care about tens of millions? So if you're focusing on the product, you are never, ever, ever, ever going to get rich. It's not going to happen. And I even see leaders letting people in their downline drag them down to start caring about product. We have a lot of people in Bitclub that were in, different nutritional companies and skin cream companies. And I was talking in Iceland to a couple of the top leaders, but one really top leader guy. And I was like, in this other company where you were selling skin cream that took wrinkles away, if somebody came to your office and you're making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month, and they came to you about the product and said, hey, I don't understand this ingredient, and I don't know if this ingredient is really going to help my skin the right way. Can you help me to understand this ingredient? What would you do? He'd be like, I would kick them out of my office and tell them, don't ever talk to me about the product. Product means nothing. Building an organization of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, that's where the money is. And so when people talk about mining earnings, that's the product. Forget the product. It doesn't matter what network marketing company we're in. We're building downlines. That's all you should be focused about. Now, if you're like, well, I signed this guy up and he invested $10, $20, $30,000 and he wants to understand, okay, then you go do that. I don't sign up customers. I just don't do that. I did not do it when I sold nutritional products, and I don't do it now. I've never signed up customers. I find people that want to be rich, and I show them a vehicle to help them get there. Now, I'm not saying Bitclub Network is the only place where you can get rich in network marketing. Not at all. I have friends that have made as much as, well, more than $1 million a month in other network marketing companies, in nutritional network marketing companies. So it wasn't that their product was better than our product. It wasn't anything about that. It's that we have the greatest profession in the world of network marketing. That's the focus. And you can take these principles with any product. The beautiful thing is that we got involved with Bitcoin super early, where we could take advantage of this massive, massive, massive growth. Now, of course, that takes us back to another question everybody asks, and that is, why is the price of Bitcoin so low right now? So don't kill yourself with this, because it's hard for me to put a lot of this stuff in words. Like, I can think it through, but it's hard for me to put in words. Let me just give you examples. All right, so when we started Bitclub and we were traveling around the world doing lots of meetings, I would do 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 presentations almost every single day. And at the end of every presentation, I would let anybody ask any question they wanted to. And it seemed like almost every single day, I would get the exact same question. That question was, the price of Bitcoin was at $1,200, and now it's at $200. What's wrong? And every day, I just saw the ignorance of so many people shine brightly. And I still see it today, shining brightly. And the reason I say that is because if you go back and look at the history of the price of Bitcoin, you know what? We should actually do that right now. Let's go do that right now. I'm going to go to CoinDesk. CoinDesk.com. So we'll go to CoinDesk. We're going to look at the prices. It's going a little slow. All right, so if you go back to the beginning, Bitcoin had no price when Bitcoin started. Like, there was literally no price. It was just a social experiment. And after Bitcoin was going for, I don't know, not quite a year and a half, but probably about 16 months, is when kind of the first transaction was done when we had Pizza Day. That was May 22nd of 2010. And that's when, one guy offered 10,000 Bitcoin, somebody would buy him a pizza. And hang on. All right, this is not working here. Let me see if I can find price. Price. All right. All right. So, and I think this is important for everybody also, because by the end of this, by the way, by the end of this webinar, I think probably one of 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to be a lot more excited about Bitcoin and Bitclub Network and where everything's going, or you're going to quit, and that's okay. Be honest with you, I really don't care one way or the other. we already went through the super hard time when Bitcoin was at $200, and we thought nothing was, well, I thought something was going to change, but most people thought nothing was ever going to change. And now we have a price of over 3,000, and most people are negative and want to look at, well, it was at 20 and now it's at 34. What's wrong? So let's go back through this. And like I said, you're either going to become a lot stronger or you're probably going to quit. And again, I don't care. We're going to make 10,000 millionaires. We're not going to make 1 million millionaires. That's not going to happen. There won't be a million people that see the vision of this and pay attention. I think we'll get 10,000, but not a million. So some of you got to go, to be honest with you. All right, so let's go back here and see if we can look at all time. All right, so here we go. Back here in 2014, we used to have a sliding chart where we could actually, they don't have the sliding chart here anymore. Let me take that. All right, maybe I can do by date. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to figure this out. I haven't been on here in a long time. Before, they used to have a sliding chart where I could, oh, here we go. Okay. Now I can show it. All right, so basically, when Bitcoin started, it had zero price. Then we had the pizza, which was $25 pizza, 2 pizzas from Papa John's for 10,000 Bitcoin. And then it took another probably 6 months to get Bitcoin to where it was 10 cents for 1 Bitcoin. And then eventually it shot up, skyrocketed to $20 for 1 Bitcoin. And then it came back down to $2. And a lot of people said, oh, it was at 20, now it's at 2. And by the way, that was the biggest jump. Let me see if we can go back even more here. I don't know if we can go back more. I want to go back more. Where are we at here? Won't let us go back further. Hey. All right, I need to find a site that let us do. I can't do it there. Let me figure out what's another site I can look up. I've always used this for I don't, oh, you know what, let me try World Coin Index. Hang on. Told you guys this is going to be a long webinar. I'm doing this as if you and I were sitting down just chatting in a restaurant for a few hours. This is not a pitch. Probably don't want to send brand new people to listen to this. This is for people that have been in for a little while and talk to your teams. All right. Bitcoin. Here we go. All time. Still not really all time. It's not. Trying to figure this out, guys. Give me a second here. All right. Yeah, I guess this is when it started. So just so you guys know, Bitclub Network, we started right about here. I'm sorry, right after that last one. We started right about here. It was at about 550 right in here, and then just kept on going down. But if you can find the history, you'll see that Bitcoin spiked, came back down. then went a while, spiked, came back down. And it's done this literally over and over and over again. And this is just the normal cycle. And you either believe in this technology or you do not believe in this technology. And when Bitcoin was at $200, I decided, you know what? I'm going to be all in. I'm going to believe in this technology. And if it ends up not working out, it ends up not working out. But this used to be the giant spike over here. And now it's not even a blip anymore. It's literally nothing. And that's when it went from went from like $100, actually less than $100, up to $1,200, and then came back down to below $200. And now that literally can't even be seen on the chart anymore. And now we have this, and after the next spike, when it jumps up to, who knows, 80, 90, 100, 150,000, and then it comes and settles back down at a low of, who knows, 20, 30, 40,000. It's just another spike that we won't even see. We won't even see this spike on the chart anymore. Now, I don't know if that's going to take 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. I have no idea. Just like I had no idea when the last one was going to happen. But I used to say to people every day when I was doing presentations, I look at my phone and I see the price of Bitcoin, and right now it's showing $200 or $300 or whatever it was at that time. And I know someday when I wake up, it's going to say $10,000. And I'm going to wish I worked harder when it was $200. And when Bitcoin hit 10,000, I remember thinking to myself, I wish I would have worked harder. We're in a down cycle right now. Do you think the people that are rich in Bitclub, do you think we got rich when Bitcoin was at $10, $15, $17,000? No, we didn't get rich then. We got rich when Bitcoin was $200 and $300 and $400. That's when we got rich. All of our Bitcoin ended up going to the moon. Now we have another downtrend. And a lot of people want to whine. And what I think's funny is that 99% of the people that I hear crying about the price of Bitcoin barely have any Bitcoin. It's the same when Bitcoin was 200. And I just tell people, do you have 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 Bitcoin? Well, no. Then why do you want the price to be high? For you guys that don't have 1,000 Bitcoin right now, why do you want the price to be high? You want the price to be low. You make more for every cycle in Bitclub right now. You realize when Bitcoin was $200, that was one Bitcoin for every cycle? And some of you guys are like, oh, you guys are so lucky. Well, guess what? When Bitcoin's $50,000, new people that are joining are going to be like, you mean you used to get cycles when Bitcoin was under 4,000? Oh my God, you were so lucky. We're all so lucky right now. You just have no idea. So if you're around people that complain about the price of Bitcoin, or they complain about the mining earnings, my number one piece of advice would be block those people. Don't answer their calls. Don't answer their emails. Pretend they don't exist. And you might be thinking, wow, Russ, that's harsh. Okay. One of the guys that was one of the very first people to join Bitclub, I used to consider him a very good friend of mine. When we started, he was so negative about every single thing about Bitcoin that came out in the news. In fact, me and my business partner, we bought 100 Bitcoin when it hit $170. And this guy was selling Bitcoin at that price because he thought Bitcoin was going to zero. And every day he would send me messages, just negative, 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 negative. And I couldn't take it anymore. And I said, stop being negative, stop being negative, stop being negative, stop being negative. They just wouldn't stop. And so now I haven't talked to that guy in a few years. And I feel bad, but I can't have negative in my life. So if you have negative in your life, just don't plan on getting rich. It's probably not going to happen. So if people are giving you negative, and then you're giving it to the people above you, and they're giving it to people above them, it ends up coming to me, just understand, I don't put up with it. I don't take negative. It is cancer. And you need to cut cancer out. Get it away from you. People go, oh, well, Russ, my whole team is negative. Then get rid of those people and go find new people. That's it. I have had to start with new people many, many, many times in my network marketing career. It's okay. It's good for you. I'm just the wrong person when it comes to excuses, because I have battled through so much in my life, and I try and do everything the right way every single time. And if you can't do that and you're too weak, then fine, go do something else. Like, I'm here supporting the people that are of like mind with me and want to be at the same place that I'm at. And that is not everybody. And I know that. I'm sitting here, by the way, I'm talking to myself, like looking at the speaker, but I'm literally pretending that I'm sitting face to face with every single one of you right now. I have met tens of thousands of people. I have probably close to 100,000 people in Bitclub. I've met so many people from all over the world, and I care about everybody so much. And the one thing I'm not going to do is be like, oh, here's the thing, it's going to be okay. I'm not that guy. I am the guy that will give you the message that is real, and I will give you the tough love. And so, are things tough right now? Sure they are. It was harder when Bitcoin was $200, and we battled through it. And so those of you that joined a year ago or a year and a half ago, and you're like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. If it's the end of the world, then get the fuck out. Excuse my language for those who don't like it, but I don't give a shit. We're making millionaires, period. If you're too weak to be a millionaire, just go, leave, take your negativity to somebody else. I used to hate it when we would be working in the very beginning. Russ, these guys in OneCoin make way more than us. Oh, the guys over here, they make more than us. Oh, this company, they're doing so much more volume than us. Russ, why can't we compete with them? Because they're liars. They're liars and they're thieves. And they're all going to crash. And what did they do? They all crashed. Every single one of them. And we're still here 4 years later running a real, legit business. Bitclub Network has crazy assets. You guys don't think we just have a couple machines, right? I mean, we have crazy assets. We're not going anywhere. We're here for the long haul. When everything turns around and there's an upside again, guess who's going to cash in? Us. Again for the second time. All of us that took this serious. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I need to keep moving. I still got a lot more questions. Sorry, I got a little excited there for a minute. All right. Next question I get. When will CoinPay launch? All right, so everything works with CoinPay right now. If you have signed up somebody in Bitclub in the past, 6, 8, 9 months, you're using the CoinPay invoicing system. We even have a couple other businesses that are using CoinPay right now. So every month there is tens of millions of dollars in volume going through CoinPay. It works, it works, it works. Problem is that if somebody does not have, programmers that work for them, it's going to be a little complicated for them to set up everything and use CoinPay. So right now we have a whole team of people that are separate from everything else from Bitclub that are building videos and tutorials and just the whole 9 yards. But there's so much that has to be done, and it's coming along really well, and it all needs to be translated in all the different languages. So when's it going to be ready? When's it going to launch? I don't know exactly. I'm hoping the beginning of the year, in the next couple of months. But I just hammer these guys all the time, and I feel bad, but I am not a programmer. And I wish I was a programmer. I think I would have had a lot of this stuff done and fixed and working a long time ago. But I'm just the guy that explains everything and comes up with ideas. I'm not the one that actually builds anything. I am not a programmer at all. So, yeah, I don't want to tell you, but when it does get launched, it's going to be huge for all of us, and that could literally make us the next Visa and MasterCard. Okay, BC Premier. We just launched BC Premier, and when we launched it, there was a couple little issues. Those are all getting taken care of. I think on Monday, tomorrow, it will be launching for the Monster Builders and maybe even the Master Builders. Now, I have been using this service now for about 6 months. And anytime that I need a hotel now, I just send a message to them and say, hey, I want to, either stay at, this place, and this place, whatever city I'm going to. Like, let's say I go to Bali and I say, hey, I'm going to be in Bali and I want a villa and I want it in this area. They come back to me and they go, here's your different options. And basically every time they look up hotels for me, they're saving me anywhere from 10 to 30%. Now, of course, the bigger the item, the more they can save. So, like, if you were to get first-class plane tickets, like on Emirates, they can save really good money on that. If you're renting a private jet, yes, it's very expensive, but they save a lot of money compared to other companies that are renting private jets. So, and if you need to send flowers, like my mom's birthday was a couple days ago, they sent flowers. I actually had them send 4 bouquets of flowers and, notes and Snicker bars because that's her favorite candy. So, like, they handle everything. Like, anything you need, they'll get it done. So it's not just the money that you can save with this service, but also the time you can save. For me, that's what's important, is not having to sit in front of my computer, booking hotel rooms and plane tickets and comparing and looking. Like, they just handle everything, and they're absolutely awesome. And the amount of things that you can ask for, I mean, we've asked them before, like, what's the limit? Like, what can you do? And they're like, look, if you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the middle of the night, just let us know. We'll figure it out for you. Like, it's a concierge service to do, and it's like having your own personal assistant for anything you need anytime. So I think you're going to find, if you get the BC Premier package, that you're going to love it. And you guys might not see it take off because it's a little expensive. Just so you know, I have the service. I pay $5,000 a month for the service because I got it attached with my gold card. And so you guys might have seen, pictures of some of the solid gold cards that have, diamonds and rubies and sapphires on them. It's really a solid gold card. And but the concierge service is the same concierge service, and that concierge service with the gold card is $5,000 a year. And this, with BC Premier, actually has even more features than the $5,000, but with the $5,000 a year, I actually have kind of a dedicated person that helps me. But you'll have an app, but you'll have people there 24 hours a day on the app. So I highly recommend it. Everybody that has got it so far, I know, is happy with it. So, wait till the testimonials come in or get it immediately. Up to you, but I'm really excited about that. I use it. I saved a ton of money with it. Okay. All right, so another thing I want to cover is back office features. So, like I just said a minute ago, I am not a programmer. And for me personally, as a network marketer, because I'm in sales. I'm the same as you guys. I come up with ideas and then I sell the ideas, but I can't make these ideas happen. Like, I can't personally mine Bitcoin. I can't program the back office. I can't do any of that kind of stuff. It takes people to do those things for me. And so it's really frustrating when, I see the back office, and being in network marketing for over 20 years, I know what I want. And I don't see those things. And I'm always like, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. But it seems like everything is just so super slow to get done, and there's lots of different reasons. Some of our issues are our size. We're just so ginormous. It's like steering a giant oil tanker, up a little small tiny river. We're always having to be so careful. And then we got hackers attacking us all the time, like never ending all the time. It never stops. And then we're working on new projects, and all the new projects have to implement with everything else that we're doing. And then running things like repurchases and the infinity bonuses for the repurchase. They crush our systems, and we have to have people dealing with that. It's so much I can't even tell you. And if any of you guys were running, everything here, because it's so easy, people go, well, why don't you guys just add this? If it was something where we could throw, $1 million at it and everything would be done next week, we would pay the $1 million this second. It can't be fixed like that, and I wish it could. And it's so frustrating because I want so much for everybody, and I want it done immediately, and it just doesn't happen. And then I get promised things are going to happen, and I don't write the newsletters, but people that write the newsletters, they go, oh, this is going to happen on this day. And then it doesn't happen. I'm like, why did you write that? Well, we thought. I'm like, stop doing that, because everybody contacts me and is like, Russ, you said. And I'm like, I did not say that. So I know it's frustrating. And also, I know you guys want stuff like, being able to transfer to usernames. I want you guys to understand, we have lost a lot of money in Bitclub because of transfers. Now, it used to be where if you got hacked, if a member got hacked, and somebody did a withdrawal, then you guys would say to us, hey, I this withdrawal, I didn't do it. But you guys got hacked, the withdrawal happened, and that's not our responsibility. You got hacked, we didn't get hacked. When we've been hacked, we took the responsibility for it. We ate it. We didn't make our members eat it. And so now what started happening is that people get hacked, but we've got our system down now to where when withdrawals are done on an existing account, we have stuff in place that catches that. And so now people don't hack into accounts and do withdrawals. What they do is they hack into accounts and they transfer money to other usernames and then pay it forward or do withdrawals from these other accounts. And so it's these transfers that are killing us. And then when they pay it forward, a lot of times it's paying forward for, their own account. Like they're paying for, an invoice in their own account that they just moved it over to. The commissions get paid out to fake accounts that are above, and then withdrawals done, and our system sees, hey, this is a new account, it was upgraded, and they earned commissions, and now they're doing withdrawals to their commissions, and our system says, hey, that looks good, and our system wants to pay it. Instead of a red flag from saying, oh, hey, this guy, he signed up from this IP address and he's done withdrawals from this IP address to this wallet address, and now these things just changed, red flag, red flag, red flag, And now all of a sudden it's, everything looks legit to the system. And so we pay the commissions. Then the people that got hacked send us support tickets and go, hey, this invoice was upgraded. I didn't upgrade that invoice. Cancel that invoice. So we go through and we cancel these invoices, and the person gets their money back even though they were hacked. And then the commissions have already been withdrawn by the hackers. And so now we have thousands of accounts that have negative balances, and it's cost Bitclub literally tens of millions of dollars from people being hacked, not Bitclub being hacked. And we've dealt with that also. So when people are like, turn the transfers back on. Okay, great. How about if we charge $1,000 a transfer? Like it costs us so much. We will have transfers again, but it's going to be done in a very, very, very secure way. I'll tell you guys, very soon we're going to make everybody use two-factor on every account. Every transfer will have to have two-factor. Pay it forwards we're going to have two-factor on everything. And then if you want to do a transfer, I believe the way we're going to do it is you're going to have your two-factor turned on for more than 2 weeks before you can do a two-factor. That way, if some hacker set up two-factor and is trying to do something, he won't be able to, and it will give the person who was hacked 2 weeks' time to notify us so that we can get it taken care of and get the hacker out of there, so it's the right person's account that has the two-factor on there. So, yeah, we're going to be putting a lot of different security measures on. So, again, we don't just do things to make it hard on everybody. We're doing things to try and keep Bitclub safe. And, you guys are making it hard on us because you're not using two-factor on your own. And then when you basically give your password away to somebody and they end up stealing from us, and then you come back and go, oh, I didn't do that, please cancel it, and then we do it, we're the ones that get screwed. And so we got to be safe since you guys aren't being safe. All right, next thing. Oh, we do have a lot of other back office features that, like our admin panel keeps getting updated, which is good. But we need stuff for members. And so you're going to start seeing a lot more stuff in the member back office. All right. When will we have another big event like Dubai? So we were working on stuff in Macau. That kind of fell apart. Now I'm working on a different avenue, a different angle in Macau. And then we're also looking into maybe Singapore. So we're probably going to be doing another event. I don't know when exactly, because the problem is like Macau and Hong Kong, mainland China does not want them having any more Bitcoin or blockchain events. And because the word bit is in our name, they don't want to let us do it there. Even though this is a private company, members only event, we're not selling anything. We're not, trying to teach new people nothing. It's just, more for our own members and, to meet and recognize each other, stuff like that. So, yeah, we're working on it. Don't know what's going to happen. We got, some big travel companies, helping us with it. I thought it would have been done, but it kept being like, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. And again, dealing with third parties seems like always getting strung along, but we will do something. I just don't know where and when yet. I'm excited to see everybody. Okay, let me see here. Hang on. We kind of crossed some of these things off that we've been going through here. Okay, cover that, cover that, cover that. I got a long list of questions you guys had. Okay. All right, so I got a couple other things, but real quick. So I know there's a lot of negative people, and because I've been doing network marketing for over 20 years, I have a lot of experience. And I've been pretty successful, and I've been in a lot of different companies, and I understand the business. A lot of people look at network marketing as, a very part-time, hobby, make a little bit of extra money thing. But to really be successful, you have to be just all in, serious, nonstop, massive work ethic and sense of urgency all the time to really make the big money. But from that much time, I've learned a lot of things. And some of the things I've learned is that I know that in network marketing, everybody is always trying to build their network and make their network bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger by meeting new and like-minded people. I lived in Las Vegas for like 10 years because I loved meeting people that were coming in for network marketing events because they had lots of them in Las Vegas. And, I knew people that would be in events and they invited me to come hang out with them. And while I was there, I'd say hi to other people that were just hanging out. Now, I never joined a company and went to their company event with the purpose of meeting people that are in my company to try and get them to join me in some other competing company. I've never done that. I have tried to be a very, very, very ethical network marketer in my network marketing career, like even over the top ethical. And so one of the things that I've hated is when I have had network marketing companies kick me out for doing something I did not do, and they were only doing it just to steal my check so they could make more money. And I've always felt that terminating somebody from a network marketing company should be the super, super, super last resort. And I hate network marketing companies that are like, if you were with us and you built a check and you go anywhere, you're kicked out immediately. Like, I just hate that. I think it's so, so, so wrong. I mean, unless they're doing something that could really damage that company. And so I've always, wanted to have the stance, and I've always, preached the stance of our only real rule in Bitclub is no lying. Like, that's the one main rule, no lying. And if you're telling people they're going to make more in mining earnings than they will, then that's lying. We don't want you around. If you're telling people they're going to make more in commissions than they will from the binary, then if you're lying, we don't want you around. But we also don't want you around if you are in Bitclub and then you start targeting Bitclub members and saying things like, oh, hey, I'm with this other cryptocurrency mining MLM, and they pay out way more than Bitclub. Bitclub doesn't pay out enough. They're keeping most of the money. They're just lying to us. Come over here, you'll make way more money. Okay, that's a lie. If someone is saying that they're mining, and number one, all these other mining companies, of course, are not on the pie chart on blockchain.info for the mining stats. They say they're making more and paying out more than we are, and we're liars, we don't pay out enough. Then you're lying and we don't want you around. If you're saying that, oh, hey, this company's doing trading and you give them whatever amount of money and they will make you 1% a day, or whatever, 30% a month, whatever they're promising you, without proving it and documenting it, and you're lying, we don't want you around. Now, if you're like, you know what, Bitclub's slow right now, and he says that really you can get rich during the slow, like when the price is low, that's really when you get rich, but it's just too hard for me. I would rather go do something else. I would rather be in a company that sells, whatever drink or whatever skin cream or, whatever. It doesn't matter. And you're just working some other company, and you're not trying to say that, you're not telling lies about Bitclub. You're just saying, hey, for me right now, it's just too hard. People are negative about Bitcoin, and I want to do something different. No problem. I totally understand. Not everybody can power through when you have an 80% drop in the price. We did that started in the beginning when it went from 1,200 down to 170. So a lot of us power through it, but some people just don't have it, and that's okay. We're not mad at anybody for that. I would never be mad at anybody. We have lots of people in Bitclub that are in other network marketing companies. I have lots of friends in other network marketing companies. I love network marketing. I want everybody who joins a legitimate network marketing company to be successful. But if you're joining scams and talking bad about Bitclub to get people to join scams, or you're promoting a scam and saying, hey, I'm in Bitclub, I'm a master builder in Bitclub, I'm a pro builder in Bitclub, I'm a monster builder in Bitclub, I understand Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and this deal over here is working better than Bitclub, you can make more money daily from their passive payout if you come join over here. If you're doing that kind of stuff, you are gone. We are not putting up with this anymore in Bitclub. No more, no more, no more. And if you want to come to us and go, well, we don't think that's a scam. You know what? We don't really care what you think. We've been doing this for more than 4 years now. We know a scam when we see it. And all you have to do to prove you're not a scam is show some transparency and documentation. Don't say we're doing mining and this is our payout. Show us that the company's actually doing mining. If you say you're doing trading, prove it. Show the trading. So, all this crap, and then also, oh, hey, we're starting our own cryptocurrency. We have OneCoin. Look, if you're doing any of that garbage, you are lying to people and stealing their money. And we don't want you in Bitclub, period. So I know there's some people going, Russ, that's not fair. But 90% of the people that are going to listen to this webinar are going, thank you for getting rid of these people. I've been getting begged for 4 years to get people thrown out. And I'm like, that's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. You know what? It's too much now. And I understand a lot of people, they just want to, build up a network in one company and then take it and try to move people to another company from downlines that they infiltrate and, get weak people to move over. It's okay. Look, you guys are going to do whatever you want to do. I can't force anybody to do anything, but I can make decisions on if people are going to stay or not. And so it is in our policies and procedures that everybody has agreed to now, and we're going to really start enforcing those things. A lot of things are going to really start getting enforced. 2017 was crazy insane for Bitclub Network. It was crazy insane. We had hundreds and hundreds of people become millionaires. Hundreds and hundreds. 2018, it's like everything that could go wrong went wrong. And that's okay. We made it through the fire. For those of you that have been here the whole time and you made it through the fire, next year you get to walk into paradise. I'm not kidding you. That's what happened to all of us in 2017. 2014, 2015, 2016, we just grind and grind and grind and grind. We were walking up a mountain carrying rocks on our backs. In 2017, we literally just coasted down the other side in Ferraris and Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis. Like, it became a whole different world on the other side of the mountain. So this year, for those of you who have stayed focused, it's only a matter of time till you get to slide down the other side of the mountain. Okay, got a couple other things we're going to cover. So which one should I cover first? Let me think. Good news or bad news? I got a good news and I got a bad news. You know what? I'm going to cover the good news. You know what? I got a good news, a bad news, and a kind of in the middle. Real quick, Club Coin. Some people want to know, like, when will the ERC20 tokens start? So I know a lot of people that are listening to this joined Bitclub Network after we already gave all the Club Coin away. And Club Coin will be tying into Coin Pay, and it's going to do some really awesome things. So with Club Coin, we're changing it to where we had its own blockchain, and it was a proof of stake coin, and we're changing it to an ERC20 token. And everybody's going to be able to turn in the Club Coins they have and exchange those for 1.6 of the new Club Coins. So if you turn in 1, you get 1.6. If you turn in 10,000, you get 16,000 of the new ones. And so we don't know exactly when that's going to start. There was a news that got released, and I said, do not write anything about Club Coin. Do not say anything about Club Coin. Don't put that in the newsletter about Club Coin. Wake up in the morning, and there it is in the newsletter that it will end January 1st, 2019. I was like, why did you guys write that? That's not correct information. And so pretend that was never in that newsletter. But probably the beginning of the year is when we will start the transition into the new Club Coin, the ERC20 token. And we will have lots more information about that. We actually have guys working on the website. We're actually putting together a whole marketing team for Club Coin. Again, 2019 will be a big year for Club Coin. Now, we did not sell Club Coin. That was free money that we gave away to everybody. We just wanted to do something good, and we'll be doing more things like that in the future. But don't know exactly when, but sometime beginning of the year is when we will be changing everything for Club Coin. All right, so 2 last things. Let me see. Good news or bad news? Good news or bad news? You know what? I'm going to do the bad news first. And when I say bad news, it's really not bad news. Well, it's bad news for Bitclub, but not bad news for you guys. Actually, good news for all you guys. All right, so with binary compensation plans, for those of you who have many years of network marketing experience and have been around for 20 years, you'll know that binaries can be the most lucrative because you get paid through absolute infinity. The problem is in binaries, it's called binary creep. And what binary creep is when binaries end up growing to a certain size, and in December, November, December, January, we were doing last year over 200 million a month in sales. And the amounts of people that we had joining was just crazy. And so we had a lot of people that were flushing a lot of binary credits every single day. But because of that massive growth, now the tree is giant. So now that things have slowed down a lot, whenever sales come in, every invoice is paying out lots of people above. And there's not a lot of credits flushing like there were before. So the payout is a lot bigger than it was designed to do. So for the year of 2018, our binary has paid out 67%. When you add in the level up, which is 10%, we have paid out 77%. So most of the money that Bitclub made and sat on from 2014, 2015, 2016, and we're really smart about in 2017, basically all just got eaten away in 2018 because we were paying out twice as much as we should have been paying out. So we have some different things that are part of the comp plan that never actually got implemented. Like you have to sponsor one left, one right to be able to cycle into binary. We never actually turn that on, which is on every other binary on the planet. We never turn that on. So we actually have people that have never sponsored anybody left or right that cycle. We also have people that have never bought a 500 pool on positions that cycle. That's not going to be happening anymore. Also, we have monthly qualifiers for Pro Builder, Master Builder, Monster Builder, Mega Monster, and we have not been enforcing those monthly qualifications. Those monthly qualifications are now going to be enforced. So a lot of people, now in your back office, it will show you, like if you made Mega Monster, it will still show you as a Mega Monster, but you will be getting paid as wherever you're qualified at from the last month. So we got to get this compensation plan back into check, because like we've been looking at it going, how come we're losing money and we're not at least just staying even? Like, what is going on? And that's why, because we've been paying out way, 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 way too much in the compensation plan. Comp plan was supposed to be 40%. When we changed the comp plan the last time, ended up turning into 47%. And just because of this binary creep, and we might end up putting maximums on it, like putting caps. But we think this will help to where we won't need to put a cap, but you never know. In a couple months, we might be having to put a cap. But we'll look at it, see where it's at. But we need to bring it down for sure from 77% to more around the 50% range. So we'll let everybody know if we do need to implement a cap here in the very near future. But that's the bad news. And when I say bad news, you're going to have to be qualified for all your positions now. No more make it and then stand there forever. Like, that was never supposed to be like that, and we should have done it a long time ago. All right, so good news. Good news, good news, good news. A lot of you guys will remember we talked about a trading algorithm that we found a couple of years ago, but never implemented it because it just did not make the money we thought it needed to make. So we actually have a team that we started working with a while ago with building an algorithm. And so we built one. We've been using it now for the last few months. The last couple months, it's been averaging, let's just say, I hate even saying these numbers. A lot of you are going to be like, I don't believe you. It's been averaging about 40% in crypto. So let's say you had put 10 Bitcoin in your trading account, like for Bittrex, and you let this work on your Bittrex account, it would be making you like 40%, like 4 Bitcoin a month. And it's where your money stays in your account. All you do is you set up an API key with your account, and this API key will make it where, like, we can never touch your money. Just the algorithm does trades for you, and that's it. Now, there's lots of different trading pairs on all these different exchanges, and there's different trading pairs that are more lucrative one days compared to other days. It's all over the place. And so this thing is working amazingly. I don't want to give away too much yet, but beginning of the year, we're going to start offering this also. And when we offer it, we're going to be showing a lot of documentation as far as this thing and how it works. And so we're going to give everybody access to it. It will be packages that we will be selling. There'll be a 500 package, a 1,000, a 2,000, and of course the founder position. That'll have to do with how many exchanges you want to use it on, how many trading pairs, and there's a lot of different things that come along with it to use with it. Now, most people that sell algorithms they have a monthly fee attached. And there will be a monthly, but it won't be a fee. And we're going to set it up and try to do it in a sense of it will be more of what we call a performance tax. So let's say you had, as an example, $10,000 in your trading account and you made 4% for the month. You'd get no tax. Let's say you made 7% for the month. You'd have no tax. But let's say you made 30% for the month. So if you had 10,000 in there, you made 3,000. And we could do it. You can do it based on Bitcoin also, because like we do this based on crypto. If you end up paying 5% in tax or 10% in tax when you made 30 or 40%, I would do that all day long. If somebody said to me, hey, Russ, let me do the trading for you. I won't touch your money. If I only make you a little bit of money, you pay me nothing. If I make you a ton of money, you got to, give us some of that money. So the reason there's going to be this performance tax is we have to have these developers that created this thing to continually always tweaking it all the time. So it's always either staying the same or getting better. And so, like I said, we've already been testing it for months, and it's working crazy good right now. And, of course, everybody wants to use it, and we want everybody to be using it, so we're setting it all up so that everyone will be able to use it beginning of the year, and you'll be able to sell that as a package as well. So we got some really cool things happening. Like I said, Bitclub's going nowhere. Like, we got so much stuff happening right now on the back end. And as much as I've told you, there's even more that I can't tell you yet. But we have some, I'm telling you, like, we're going to be the next super giant company. And for those of you that are negative and just can't take a little bit of adversity, I understand. Look, if you want to go do something else, it's okay. If you feel like you need to talk bad about Bitclub and be negative about Bitclub, well, then you can just kiss my ass and get the fuck out of here. I really don't care. People are, like I said, if people want to do something else, I'll never say negative about anybody. But if somebody wants to attack us, we're just going to attack you back. We're not just pushovers that are just going to let people take advantage of us. We do have some really great attorneys. We will defend ourselves, and we have the money to defend ourselves. And by the end of 2019, I think it's going to be really clear on how strong Bitclub really is. And maybe that's what we need to do. We need to have a 5-year anniversary party. So instead of just setting up like an event, we should turn this into like a 5-year anniversary party. I think it's 99.9% of network marketing companies go out of business in their first 5 years. So I think us doing a 5-year anniversary party, that would actually be the most perfect thing to where we could, for all the negative people out there in the world of MLM and in crypto that always want to talk bad about Bitclub, we could just, do a big kiss my ass party. But yeah, look, everybody, things are great. I stay positive all the time. I'm only negative when I'm trying to beat people over the head to get them to not be negative. Forget the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is 10 years old. It's just getting started. Like, I'm not kidding when I say the richest, smartest people in the world are all involved with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies right now. The biggest institutions are all involved. The technology is real. It's solid. It's not going anywhere. I am literally all in on this thing. I've been all in since probably the first couple months that we started when I saw the potential where this thing could really go. I'm still all in. And I know there's a ton of you that are with me 100%. 100%. there's a lot of you that are like, Russ, sounds really great. I'm going to do my best, you know, and you're doing your best. And we have a lot of people that become millionaires that, you know, didn't just jump in 100% day one. It's okay if you got to work your way into it. Just know that this is the time when people get rich. I promise you, focus for the next 1 or 2 years. You will be rich. Now, of course, those of you guys that started 4 years ago, I'm not talking about you. You're already rich. Just so you guys understand. Anybody that joined Bitclub Network 4 years ago and stayed focused for their first 2 years, everyone is rich right now. Everyone. Every single person. There's nobody that worked hard for 2 years and went, well, I worked hard, but I got nothing to show for it. Nobody. Not one person. Everybody's rich. So if you're not a millionaire 2 years from now, it's only your own fault. We will be here. Everything will still be running the same. We'll have a lot of new stuff running, but everything will be running just the same. So, all right, everybody. Well, look, I've been on here for a while. I don't even know how long it's been. Probably at least a couple of hours. Look, I love you guys. When I meet everybody in Iceland, it's a little stressful because I get, you know, literally every day hundreds of people want to take a picture and ask a question, and you know, it's just craziness. But I absolutely love it. I love meeting everybody. I miss doing so many meetings, but it just killed me, and now I just can't travel as much as I used to. I did it for 3 years. I stayed literally homeless for over 3 years, just literally going from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting all over the world. And, you know, now trying to slow down, work on stuff for the back end to help launch for really our phase 2 of Bitclub. Phase 1, the mining got us through to this point. Now it's time to start launching all the other things, launching CoinPay, launching BC Premier, launching our new trading algorithm. We have our new mining facility. When I say mining facility, it's a data center. It's a giant, 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 giant data center that Bitclub Network will own. Now, it's not going to be in the name Bitclub Network, but we own it. And if we end up doing something where we take it public or whatever, it's Bitclub Network members that are all going to get the benefits from this. And we have so many big plans that, again, we can't even talk about yet, but it makes me sad to say this and happy to say this, but we're still kind of at the beginning. And I say that in a sad way because I want to be retired, but I see no end in sight. We have so many things lined up that we have to do, and we are doing, that I don't see any retirement in the really near future, but I really, really, really want to be retired. So just remember, there is a limited time offer on this opportunity. 5 years from now, 4 years from now, when Bitcoin is $150,000, $200,000 for one Bitcoin, the real opportunity will be over. To just get involved at that point, you're just going to be a user, basically. You're never going to have that potential to make, you know, 5, 10, 20, $50 million. People getting started right now really still have the potential of making, you know, 10, 20, $50 million. That's a real thing still. And I know some people don't believe it. A lot of people didn't believe it when we first got started, and it's happened, and it's going to happen again. And so, look, I love you guys. I'm just rambling. Appreciate you. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Get out there, man. This is the time when you want to make the most money possible. You're getting a lot of Bitcoin for every cycle. The lower the price, the more Bitcoin you get. Is it going to last another 2 weeks? Is it going to last another year and a half? We don't know. Just telling you, take it serious. This is the time when you can make a lot of money. So, all right, everybody. Love you guys. I will see you really, really, really soon somewhere. Appreciate you.